All right, and we're live, pal. Once again, baby. So, hey, Andy here. Feels. Oh, hey, you like my shirt? It's of my favorite anime of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Not gonna lie, it's a very comfy shirt. So, yeah, sorry for the kind of jank setup. I recently moved my desk over, so while it's good for productivity, it may not be so good for filming because like the backlight is coming in from all the natural light. So I'm backlit, so it's not ideal, but whatever. Jeez, what the fuck happened to my neck? It happens sometimes. But anyway, yeah, just want to come on this little live stream, chat some shit, drink a green smoothie because I already ate all my breakfast because I could not sleep last night or this morning. It all kind of bled together. Ugh, I swear to God, finals are killing me, guys. But thankfully, they're going to be over very soon. Because I'm taking my final today. And it's over business, so I feel pretty confident in it. And I already have a B in that class right now, so feeling pretty good. And B's seem to be the benchmark. Got to get a little alliterative there with me with this semester because I did some pre-calculations for my grades for the classes I've already done finals for and stuff, and it's looking pretty good. So I got a B plus in one, and then a B minus in another, and that B minus is in math, if you can believe it. But yeah, that the thing that saved my ass was doing the homework because he gave like a whole bunch of homework assignments and extra credit, and I did all them shits, man. Got to get that grade, got to get them grades up somehow. Yeah, but when it came to the final, I guess I never used to get this when I was a kid, but like I guess now I'm older, and plus considering like the higher stakes that are involved with these things, I have like test anxiety now, which I never used to have as a kid. When I was way younger, like I fucking breezed through tests because like I already knew the material, right? I just pay attention to class, take notes, never read the notes. I might like skim over them a little bit, like right before we take the test, and then like that's it. But it's all up in the old head brain, and I always did well on tests. And that was kind of the consistent message in like all the parent teacher conferences when I was a kid. My mom would go to them, and like without fail, all of them would be, Andy is really smart, but he just doesn't apply himself. Meaning that I do really well on the tests, but I'm complete dog shit when it comes to homework. And looking back at it, I think it's probably based on undiagnosed ADHD, as well as just not being able to concentrate at home just due to the environment. I had two younger brothers, and they're running around. It was just really hard for me to focus at home. So when we started getting study halls in high school, that's when I could actually do homework. So I would just do as much as I could in study hall because I knew I couldn't do it at home because I can't focus. Whether it was just a bunch of other shit going on at home or whatever, I could not focus at home. But in study hall, I was just straight tunnel vision. And that's kind of how it is here, actually, doing this schooling from home. It does take a considerable amount of effort to not go completely ADD on things, because you're in your nice, comfortable, familiar environments. You don't have to worry about teachers looking over your shoulder or whatever. Now I kind of know why, some higher, like bigger YouTubers, for lack of a better word. I know why a lot of them get like a separate office. Not just like convert one of their unused bedrooms into an office, but like get like a separate from their house type office. Because you got to have that work-life balance. You got to have that separation of, having like a dedicated place for work, but also have a little bit of a stake in it too. Because I noticed that like my productivity when I'm here is terrible. Like sometimes, like it's so inconsistent, right? As you guys know, if you follow my fucking YouTube upload schedule over the years, like there's times where I just put out a barrage of videos, and other times you don't hear from me for weeks. And sometimes that's just due to school or work or whatever, or just I don't really have any ideas, or I'm working on something, whatever. Gotta love that green smoothie. See, I'm trying to eat healthier here, guys, or drink healthier, I guess. I always get one of these bad boys for breakfast all the time. Helps kind of even the energy levels out. And also makes me feel good that I'm doing something good for myself. So, even if I didn't get the physical benefits, it's kind of nice to do something nice for yourself, It's not hurting anybody. But as far as, smoothies and stuff go from Conveni's, the natural Lawson's ones are the best. It tastes like an actual, like, this shit was in a blender type smoothie. These are kind of like the fancy, ones that you buy at the store, like Naked or whatever the other ones are. That's the one that comes to mind. They're kind of like the designer smoothies. It just tastes like a drink. It doesn't taste like a smoothie. But it's just packed with so many vitamins and minerals. Fiber. Fiber. You kids get to be my age. That's all people talk about. It's, oh my God, my 401k and my fiber count. Like, bitch, you're 34. Calm down. Ugh, goodness. Which, by the way, guys, I'm going to be turning 35 next week on Monday. I had to look it up. That's just making a cameo. It's tapered on the sides, which is nice. And it never really went away, really. When I got the haircut, like, they didn't cut it as short as I'd like it. Or maybe it's growing in fast due to all the stress. I don't know. From all that learning, keeping the brain nice and hot. So the hair is like, oh, cha-cha-cha-chia. 35, hopefully going to be alive. I don't know. So what am I going to do? That is a good question. Because after these finals and stuff, I have, like, no fucking idea. I mean, aside from, like, working and stuff, the fun stuff. But I just, like, part of me wants to just completely detach, like go chill on a beach or something, because nobody's on beaches in December. Just fucking veg out. Yeah, basically TBD. TBH. But yeah, part of me just wants to fucking veg out somewhere and just completely disconnect from the internet and everything. And another part of me wants to just go completely ham on making vids for myself, not just for clients. So kind of torn, really. But I think, it's hard saying right now, because I'm still in that like heightened anxiety state of, am I going to pass finals? What are my grades going to be? Oh my God, am I going to pass? Even though like I calculated, some of my classes grades, some like, I still have to take one final today, and then the other final I took yesterday, they still have to grade the short answers. So I didn't get like the final grade on it yet. So it's hard saying. But of the classes that I have taken the finals for, that have posted the grades, like I got B's, like I got a B plus and a B minus. So like I'm doing pretty okay. But the old head brain's like in maximum stress mode, which is why I couldn't sleep last night, because I'm just in like high anxiety mode. Yeah, Attack of the Killer Bees. I was surprised too. Especially considering the B minuses in math. Like what? Like midterms, I was failing that, and I wanted to talk about it, but I felt so ashamed of it. Yeah, I wish. I actually got a tutor. Like the first thing, once we started getting assignments and stuff, the first thing I did, see Dov Trippin uploaded video. Check that out after the stream. Sorry, AD moment. But anyway, so first thing I did once we started getting in assignments and stuff, because this is my second time taking the class, because I failed it last semester. So I wanted to make sure I did things differently. So went out and sought a tutor, but like they were well-meaning and everything, but they were basically doing the same thing the teacher was. So I wasn't learning anything. Because with the teacher, like, I'll be honest, like straight up, I suck at math. So it's very difficult for me to learn math. It just doesn't click in the old head brain. And, it is what it is. But with this teacher, and he's nice and everything, so he has a well-meaning personality, but as far as his teaching style, it just doesn't work for me. Like his thing is, he'll give you an exercise during class, give you like, maybe 3 to 5 minutes or whatever to complete it, and then he just goes over it, and he just like does the problem. And I was like, all right, any questions? And then I would ask him like, so for this step, you did this. Why'd you do this? Oh, because that's how you solve the problem. Because, that. Okay, but like, you just explained it to me in the context of that problem. You didn't explain to me, like, why you did it that way. In like a manner of, if you see this in like a future homework or test or something like that, just kind of like, because math is, it's literally problem solving is math. So like on paper, I should be a fucking math super genius. But it just seems like math seems to make up its own rules along the way. And that's where I get lost, like, ugh. So basically, like, asking questions during class wasn't really helping. I kind of gave up, actually. I just kind of showed up. I was just there after a while. Getting a tutor didn't help because they basically just did the same thing. I would give them a problem. They'd solve it and be like, you get it? And I'd ask them the same questions and be like, literally the same thing. So, yeah, it is my own. But that being said, I can't help but remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger quote about the self-made man. Yes, I did earn the B, but that was all thanks to other people and sites and stuff like that helping me out. So got to give a major shout out to mathisfun.com, Khan Academy, and there's a couple other YouTube channels actually that helped me solve some maths. So when I was having some trouble, especially with like polynomials and shit like that, I forget the channel name, but let me see. If or yeah. Oh yeah, it's the organic chemistry tutor. Is one of them. He has like the kind of hand-drawn, almost Comic Sans looking stuff. So yeah, he's got, or she, I don't, hold on, I think it's the right one, right? Yeah, he's got the, sorry, there was another one with a female instructor on here. Yeah, he's got like so many good videos on how to solve, math and stuff. Even though he's called the organic chemistry, he also has a lot of like algebra and just a lot of good stuff there. So definitely give them a view. Not that a channel with 2.46 million subs needs a shout out from little old me, but I'm gonna give it to him anyway. So definitely check these out if you suck at the maths like I do. Yeah, definitely put that in your bookmarks for a rainy day. It'll help you, I'm telling you. So there's that. There's a couple other blogs, just kind of random blogs that I came across to help me solve certain equations and also learn like the rules, because that was the main thing. Like, yeah, no problem. Glad to help whatever I can. But there's also certain blogs out there that help you learn the rules, and that's something I really needed to learn that my teacher wasn't teaching me in class, which was pissing me the fuck off. He would just do these things and that's it. You learn stuff, right? You get it? Meanwhile, he wouldn't explain, like, I think the only thing he explained was like the communicative and the distributive property. And I think he said, he also talked about slope intercept form, but I already knew that one. I also knew the other ones as well, but as far as the shit I didn't know, he would just do it and wouldn't even mention that there was a rule. He would just do it. So yeah, I'm a little salty about it, but at the end of the day, guys, I got a B-. So all's well that ends well. All right. Initial. Okay. So yeah, and then the other class, the one I got a B+ in, initial. So yeah, the other class I got a B+ in was a kind of like a, I don't know what you would call it, basically like a diversity studies course. It's something that I needed for my bachelor's, so I decided to take it. It was pretty easy. You had to do, some essays and stuff like that. Actually, it's complicated because like at the end you do this like role-playing exercise, and you have to like write up some essays and stuff like that, depending on like what your role is in the game. It's kind of complicated, but yeah, overall that was a pretty fun class. Got into some pretty good discussions. Ended up being late to my microecon class a couple times, especially near the end, because we got in some pretty good discussions with the situation in Rwanda back in the 90s. Fun stuff. Probably demonetize me if I talk about it, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so I definitely recommend it. And then microecon, I took the final. And remix, nice. Has Lakeland rolled out the bachelor's degree program you want to start? They haven't officially rolled it out yet, but from talking with the peeps internally, both staff and students, the date that they're intending on rolling it out is for the summer semester. So I haven't got any official confirmation on it, but that's the memo going on internally. Yo, good morning, Car Wash. Good morning to the car wash, yeah. Please don't monetize me. Don't monetize me, bro. Yeah, it is a very good morning today. Oh, man. As you guys know, especially to help combat anxiety and to help keep me focused, I usually eat mints. And back in Mercagen land, my mint of choice was icebreakers, but they don't really have those out here, except at the import shops, and they're like hella expensive. So I usually just get these little numbers, little Mintia. Cold Smash, it's my all-time favorite. Look, the cool one, it's called like Cool Mint or something like that. I don't know. Cool Mint's pretty good. They have a couple decent citrus ones, but I'm always in it for the mint. Yes, I have one final left today, and that's it. I'm done with the associate's program. So yeah, basically, and take that vitamin D now that you remind me. Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, the final. The class that'll be is for my intro to business class. So feel pretty good about that one. The thing that's really one of the big like anxiety inducers with school was actually in that class, and it was the oh yeah, totally. But one of the anxiety inducers was with that class, and it was with the group project that we were a part of. Yeah, the class was actually really nice. Teachers really chill for the most part. And yeah, that's the class of the group project. So that was challenging, but the actual class itself was pretty fun. You know, it's nice, chill, just sit in there and listen to them talk, stuff like that. Then the group project, because I definitely do want to do a video about this on the Andy Japani channel at some point, because like I have a whole bunch of new material for the Andy Japani channel as involves my time at Lakeland, because there's like so many new facets I can talk about once I get my degree officially. So I can give like a whole wrap up of is going to college in Japan worth it? All this other stuff, or just talk about my experiences. So how do I feel about my classmates? You know, they were pretty nice. It's just the majority of them are Japanese, and usually like in classes where they want to like have group conversation, they would like break us up into little groups, and most of the time they would have like one international student to like a group of Japanese kids. So it was me as like the lone Mercagen in the chat, and like nobody wanted to talk or say anything. And I come in, say a couple points, and it'd just be silence. Maybe like one brave student would like say something or like agree with me, and like, all right, go work, everybody. You know, let's go to some of this stuff. So I'm mentioning you in a Zoom meeting. Oh, dude, seriously? They mentioned me? Are you talking about the staff or the students? Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of a different role that I'm used to being as a student. Because like when I was back in America going to school, like I would just students really seriously. Oh shit! I didn't know that. I didn't know this. The oncoming students. I mean, aside from you and a couple others in the Discord, which by the way, you guys should check out my Discord. Let me put the link in there. I don't have it handy with me. So Chocho de Mates. I'll go grab it. Oh. There we go. I think let's zip this one. Okay, join Discord. Boop. There we go. I should have like one of those little like Autobot reminders to like join the Discord, because I really want to grow that community. Even though right now we have 69 members. Nice. We're just a tight-knit little community here. Actually, let me check the member count. real quick. Just, you know, for funsies. Where is it? Members. Oh, somebody left. Nice. Not nice. Now we only have 68 members. Oh well. But we're pretty close, so nice. You have to moderate because the Japanese students. Oh, I read that. Yeah. So yeah, the Japanese students do not speak up, so you have to. It's a tough balance to like be the, you know, the big loud merc-gen, just like, you know, barreling over everybody. Thanks, Car Wash. Appreciate it. But it's definitely like a balance between, you know, trying to promote conversation and just being, you know, the big loud merc and just steamrolling through everybody. So usually what I do, and this is a little pro tip for some of you who are looking to, you know, join a Japanese university, is to basically just answer like the first 1 or 2 questions right off the bat and just sit back. And I know some of the teachers are going to get a little impatient because nobody's speaking up whenever they ask a question, but you already got your stuff out there. You already got your participation points. And usually when they're talking about that sort of stuff, about, my God, you guys don't know any of this stuff? Why is nobody speaking up? It's not to you guys. It's to the Japanese students because they're not apt to speak up. They just sit there and passively listen. So just a little pro tip from y'all, or for y'all. Sorry. James, I think. Is that right? Yeah, totally. Sorry, I got to catch up on comments here. I'm a little behind. So did I like Lakeland better or worse than universities you went to in Michigan? It's hard saying whether it's hard saying whether Lakeland was necessarily better as a university than like Western or Kalamazoo, because the environments are different, and to me the environment is, you know, the thing that really makes the difference. So, you know, in Japan, obviously, you know, primarily Japanese students. Yo, $5 holla, appreciate you. Appreciate you there, James. Thanks. But yeah, with, you know, with the schools, obviously out in Michigan and even in Lakeland, it's mostly just young kids right out of high school going to college. Most of them at Lakeland want to get into some sort of international business, or a lot of them want to get into like the hospitality industry. So they need to speak English to communicate with international customers. And it's just it's a different vibe over at Lakeland versus, you know, over in Michigan, where it's kind of the same as it is in every other university in America. It's just a bunch of young kids just trying to get by. And for me, as a 30-something college student, it wasn't really anything I was all that interested in when I got back into it. I was just like, I'm just there to like get my credits, get my paper, and fucking move back to Japan. But, you know, for Lakeland, I'm already here in Japan. You know, so it's just a lot more relaxed environment. Plus, you know, it's one of those things. I guess like the TLDR, before I get on a whole, well, I'm already on a whole tirade about it, but the TLDR is basically, I prefer Lakeland over the schools out in Michigan, just based on the environment. There's a lot more to do out here, you know, in Kawasaki, and being so close to Tokyo, than there was back when I was living in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You know, so just more options, lower cost of living. So I'm not sweating it as much when it comes to paying them bills, which is nice. Stuff like that. So listen to you on the King of Content podcast. Take most of your vloggers. Pretty cool, dude. Thanks, Carwash. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really had it wrong with those King of Content podcast guys. Like when I first heard about them, I thought they were just like a bunch of people from Japan Circle Jerk subreddit, you know, the JCJ. And I thought it was just a couple, people from the JCJ just making a podcast to like shit on J bloggers. And while that was fun, ultimately start brewing a bunch of negative emotions. And I listened to them, and the first few podcasts were pretty shit. I'll be honest. Like the first half of it was them just kind of making random observations and not even about like the topic at hand, just a bunch of random shit. And I felt like it went on way too long. It was just so disorganized. And by the time they actually got to the subject, they would talk about them for like 3 to 5 minutes and then kind of go off on this other tangent about something else. Oh, Tokyo Drew said this. Oh, Pizza Sando. Yeah, for sure, car wash. But it was when I heard that episode they did on Tikio Sam where they actually gave a very good critique. And it was very well thought out to where I was like, these guys are all right. And that was the episode that really changed my mind on them. And then that's when I reached out to talk to them about what happened between me and Sam, which if you guys don't know what happened, I made a video about it. It's going on 1,000 views now, so hopefully some of you have seen it. I didn't realize it would get that popular, but it's out there, so if you guys want to know. But I originally wasn't going to talk about it, especially not on my channel. I mean, I don't mind talking about it on live streams because they're going to be unlisted after this, so they're not going to be easily searchable. And I'm not going to make a live stream being like, the truth between me and Tikio Sam, or whatever the case. It's just going to be a random little insert in a live stream, and we'll move on to the next piece of business. But after opening up with Kings of Kanto, the King Kanto podcast, the Cockcast, whatever. That'd be an easier way to say it. But after talking with them about stuff, it really, felt good to get a lot of that stuff off my chest. And there was a lot of stuff they cut out, of course. If you really listen to it, it is very heavily chopped because we chatted shit for like an hour and a half. And like the edited version of the podcast is like 16 minutes. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff we talked about. And I was also pretty drunk on Strongs. So for them to get that much out of me, as drunk as I was, definitely says something positive about their editing abilities, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I had to get, like when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, I had to crack open a couple Strongs and chat shit with the boys, but also help loosen me up and stuff. So yeah, but after doing that episode, I felt more comfortable talking about what happened. And I know a couple of you guys asked me about it too. So I figured just make a video out there saying what all happened, put the issue to bed. So if anybody asks about it, I can just direct them to the video and we can carry on the next piece of business. And apparently a lot of you guys liked it. It also got a lot of dislikes because I guess Sam linked to it on his Discord. And so I got a couple Tikio Sam fam out there disliking it and leaving me some nasty comments. I had to prune those out, because with negative comments, it's one of those things. Like I try to like leave the negative comments in there to like stick it to the haters of like I'm not gonna let your negativity bring me down. But what usually happens is people tend to look for negativity in those types of situations. So I always notice that like if I leave like a negative comment unchecked, like I don't respond to it or block it or whatever, then it ends up escalating into like this several comment long thread, and it just completely devolves into chaos. So for me, it's best to just nip that stuff in the bud before it escalates. So that's why I usually prune out the negative comments. Not because, I can't stand the criticism. I can't stand the heat. Oh, my gosh. It's just I don't want my audience to, get involved with all that negativity either. Because, if they come onto a video and they go through the comments and they see that fucking mile-long thread of negativity, they'll be like, oh, God, this guy's a drama channel. He's fucking toxic. Ew, gross. And they'll unsubscribe. Or even people that don't know who I am will see all the negativity and be like, fuck that guy. So College in Japan, that's cool. It's hard to judge because he only had. Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely I'm gonna need a lot of beer after this final because, my God, this has not only been a semester, it's been a year, folks. Jesus, I'm just gonna drink till I can't feel feelings anymore after this. Um, and yeah, like that's the whole thing. It's hard to like really make a good judgment because like I wasn't even on campus for a full semester either, Monarchy. Like I was only doing like on campus classes for like two, maybe 3-ish months altogether. Like it was 2 months and some change basically. Yeah, need something strong. Kieran Strong. Or Strong Zero if you prefer. But honestly prefer the Kieran Strongs. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but whatever. I'm not ashamed of what I like. So, yeah, definitely gonna need some strong style in my life. But yeah, like you were saying, Monarchy, I was only on campus for like 3 months before we went to old Kinkujitai, social distancing, all that fun shit. So it's hard to really get an accurate description of my experiences in college versus when I was going to school in Michigan and even later in North Carolina. Like North Carolina, I was taking some all online classes, but I was also doing on campus classes as well. So but yeah, I was still like going to school and I had a little bit of a routine. So it was different versus now where literally like the commute consists of this much. Here, let me show you my whole commute route, folks. Okay. So that's my starting point right there. Okay. So I got to go from all the way over there to all the way over here. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a pretty brutal commute. And back when I was living with my brother and his 3 dogs, there'd constantly be a 3-dog pileup outside my door. So yeah, traffic is brutal. Let me tell you. I work on them dad jokes, I know. So it's on the horizon after finals. I think I already talked about that, maybe. Yeah, basically, right after finals, I don't know if I'm just gonna like completely veg out for a week or two, or if I'm just gonna go hot and heavy with making vids. Because something I really learned about myself during this time was just how much of a de-stressor making videos is. Because I know there's some people that kind of dunk on me of like, well, why are you making so many videos? Shouldn't you be studying? Like, what are you doing? You should be studying, man. But like for me, studying is just really stressful, and I need some outlet for my stress, and that's where I get to like making videos and even doing these live streams. I don't do the live streams all the time because I have to have like a certain energy level for it. Like I don't want to come on here completely just dead ass and be like, hey guys, Andy Son here. Ugh, whatever. I'm so tired. I don't want to do that. So it's hard to maintain viewership and all that other stuff. And then after a while, you're just like, why the hell am I even doing this? Which is why I've had some live streams where I just completely cancel them and delete them because it kind of gets off on the wrong foot and it's just like, eh. So, yeah, not sure if I'm just going to completely veg out or just go ham on making vids. I'll probably take a little bit of a break because I got my birthday coming up next week, so I do want to chill out for that. But as far as outside of that, I'm going to be working on getting my job hunting visa officially set up because I have to wait until after I graduate for them to draft up for my school to draft up a recommendation letter. Got to show proof of graduation, so diploma, or maybe they'll send me a cert or something. Basically, proof of graduation. So I do that, and I got to finish up my Japanese resume, which all I have left on that is work history and school history. Got to write it all in Japanese, and my Nihongo ain't so jozu, despite what you heard, So it's a challenge, but nothing a little Google Translate can't fix, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But thankfully, I'll be able to get somebody who's actually in the know about that Nihongo to proofread it before I send it to immigration. They'll be like, "What? わからないよ。難しいですね." I don't want them to do that to me. So yeah, definitely getting someone to look at it. So when I go pick up my paperwork from school, I'm gonna have one of the admin look it over to make sure I didn't forget anything, or if I messed up in spelling something or whatever. There's always something. So blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cock is kind of a guilty pleasure. Yeah, it is. Although, to be honest, I just skip the first half and just go in the second half because that's like the shit I actually care about. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. It goes for 99% of JCJ, though. Oh, yeah. Didn't know that. How long is the exam going to be? Exams, most of them have been about the same length as class, so like hour and a half or so. Some even give you like an extra half hour. Yo, John, what's up? So yeah, probably half hour to 2 hours for the exam. Multiple choice or essay. I think this one's going to be multiple choice. Might have a couple short answers in there too, but probably going to be multiple choice. So I usually do better with multiple choice anyway, because even if I don't know the answer, I can give a nice, healthy, educated guess, and usually pretty right, or like I'm half and half with some things. I'm still kind of pissed off that I didn't do as well on my microeconomics final. At least from what was, yeah, I can't do that in Japan, but you have fun with that back in Mercagen land. Day. But yeah, I messed up the difference between trade deficit and trade surplus, so I switched the definitions around, so I automatically missed like 3 or 4 questions because they asked about that, and those would have been total softballs had I got the definitions right, but is what it is. But he every day, but he hasn't graded the short answers yet, and those are worth more than the multiple choice. So yeah, not doing that in Japan. You don't have to worry. So I may look like it, but I don't. So only inhale. Not just kidding. Just kidding. Kidding. Okay. Don't need the feds knocking on my door. Yeah, I was kind of pissed. I missed some of the questions on the microecon final, but he's still going to grade the short answers. And I know I got those right, and they count more than the multiple choice, so I'm hoping that it balances out. So yeah, I'm looking for probably, realistically, probably like a C plus, maybe a B- if I did really well on those short answer test or short answer questions. But yeah, I know it's such an easy question. I just flopped it around, but that's what I get for doing that final right after my math final, which is the one I was having like the most anxiety about. I don't even want to get into that one. That was a fucking shit show and a half. But I'm just glad for math class though. I was able to boost my grade, mostly due in part to doing the homework. So he gave out like a shit ton of assignments and extra credit and all this other stuff. So I just did all of them so I could get some more points and stuff. But when it came to doing the test, like I said earlier, like it's weird, like when I was younger, like I never got test anxiety before, but now I've gotten older, and I think also just due to the stakes that are involved, I get like mad test anxiety. So while I was able to just kind of, while I was able to just like breeze through tests when I was younger, now that I'm older, I tend to like overthink things too much and stuff like that. So I end up taking too long on the test or making mistakes here and there. And that was the thing with that math test too. I exceeded the allotted time. So, some tests, like if you submit it late, they just penalize you, give you like a late penalty. but then there's a lot of tests that like are automatically timed. So once you exceed the allotted time, it just closes the test and just whatever you didn't answer. Oh well, shogunai my guy, which fucking sucks because I'd rather take the hit on a late completion versus not being able to complete like a good portion of the test. So, but at the end of the day, guys, I got a B- in that class, so pretty happy. Where are we at? Makes sense. You're stuck in a small apartment listening to classes and studying all day, bantering on the internet for an hour a day is hardly interference. Yeah, totally. And even like when I do the edited videos, like my videos don't take much time to edit, so in the grand scheme of things, it's not really taking that much time. Japanese resumes, how to use it too. Yeah, with the Japanese resumes, thankfully, one of the admins sent me a template that I could use. So I basically just, filled in the blanks as it was relative to me and just went from there. So I'll be applying for jobs after the final. Yeah, so it's a little complicated because I did get a good job offering like a couple months ago, actually. I think I've talked about it before, but I did get a good job offering at this company that'll help me basically get through until I start up at Lakeland again with the 4-year program. So the thing is, they say they're going to sponsor my visa, but they're kind of iffy on it. So they said to just like get the job hunting visa first, because I guess it's easier to like convert from a job hunting visa to like a work visa than it is to just go from student to work or whatever. I don't know all the particulars. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I don't even play one on the internet. So yeah, so that also started up a lot of anxiety with me, just because I thought it was like a done deal, because like he was super stoked. We did an interview. He was like super stoked to hire me, and basically said, yeah, once school wraps up, give me a call. We'll get your schedule all set up. We'll get the visa taken care of, all this, that, and the other. I was like, fucking done, son. Let's do this. Then he sends me an email saying, well, I think it's probably best you just get the job hunting visa first, and then we'll talk. And I'm just, even though it's probably just a precautionary measure, but it still kind of gave me that little tinge of nervousness of just like, oh shit, he's not going to back out, is he? Because like, once I graduate, I don't have the GI Bill to rely on for income out here. And like, I do decently with my other gigs, but like they're part-time gigs. So yeah, I was really nervous about that, but I think ultimately it's gonna be okay. Just gonna err on the side of optimism. So plans, gathering the visa. Yeah, I already talked about that. Pretty sure the exams at Lakeland are harder than the ones at normal Japanese. Oh yeah, totally. Like from what I've heard from Japanese universities, and I haven't actually gone to an official, Nihon university. So I don't know from personal experience, but from what I've heard from other people, a lot of Japanese kids like to treat it as basically just a little break in between, regular school life and work life. So most of the time, they don't even like go to class, or if they do, they just like sleep or just like not pay attention, because it's like as long as you have a pulse, you can basically pass Japanese university. It's not that hard. So, but the older you are, the less certain you become. Yeah, that's definitely something I've learned being an older student, going into these things. And it was actually something I was thinking of last night, was because I was kind of like brainstorming a video I want to make of, is it easier to go to school when you're older versus when you're younger? And to me, there's no like clear answer to it, because each one has their own advantages and disadvantages. There are some advantages to going to school when you're older, because if you go to school when you're younger, like you're late teens, early 20s. You're basically just trying to figure yourself out and figure out who you are as an adult, and try to learn to take care of yourself and all this, that, and the other. And also you have to do homework and all this other stuff too. And a lot of college kids also have jobs and just a whole myriad of different things. And when you get older, your personality's pretty much figured out for the most part. Like, I pretty much kind of settled into who I am at this point. I mean, I'm gonna be 35 next week, so I probably should be, right? But yeah, so I don't have any hang-ups about my personality, and plus, like, I have my focus on what I want to do for a career. You had to call it a personality, right? So, sorry, I had to get that in there. Clobbering time. But when you're younger, you also have more energy. And also, if you go to school, like, or if you go to college right after school, like, you're already in that learning mentality. So for me, when I went back to school after being out of it for 10 years, oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Car Wash. But after I went back to school, having been out of school for 10 years, it really took me a long time to relearn how to learn, if that makes any sense. Just kind of learn the process of learning in a college environment. And the college environment had changed significantly from the last time I was in too, because, with the advent of technology and all that, because, the whole concept of doing classes online was pretty nascent when I was going to school. Like, I remember, when I was going to IT Tech, like, the whole concept of an online class was so foreign that they decided to, instead of make it completely online, they'll have like an in-person course throughout the week as well. So you have to go to it, and they either do like a lecture, or if you have questions about something, you can ask them in person. And yeah, it was just very new, and a lot of people were failing it because they just didn't really know the concept of it and stuff. But now it's just like commonplace, and there's also a lot more things involved that make it easier to deal with. Back in my day, it was basically just you have like a little place to dump your homework and read stuff on like a board or whatever, but there was no like Zoom meetings and stuff like that, or online classes, right? Online, straight debating. But it was also just due to the technological limitations of mid 2000s. Didn't even have high definition internet, so don't have the super crisp 1080p high definition live streams that you see before you today. No other fuzzy glory. But regardless, I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, it was just different back then, so it's a process for sure. Sorry, my guys, you boot to be booted. Debated back when MySpace was the thing, right? Yeah. Funny story about that, actually. I remember when Facebook became a thing, and all my friends got on Facebook, but I couldn't get on Facebook because back then you had to have an official college email to sign up. Like, nowadays, fucking anybody with a Gmail or whatever can sign up for Facebook, but back then you had to have like an officially recognized school's email address, and IT Tech wasn't on that list, which is a bit of a red flag in retrospect. But I tried putting that in, and they wouldn't let me on, so I basically only had MySpace. And here's another blast from the past: Zanga. Zanga was actually my first foray into blogging. That's what really got me started on blogging, was because I couldn't get on Facebook, and I wanted a way to connect with all my friends, and they'd all started Zanga blogs because that's what you did in college back in the mid 2000s. Yo, Sean, dude, fucking Osashi Booty, dude. Been a hot minute. How you doing? Yeah, Zanga. It's Zanga with an X, by the way. Zanga. So, RAR XD back in them days. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Don't worry, man. Mine does too. So, but yeah, getting back to the earlier questions, are the professors at Lakeland mostly Japanese? Not really. In fact, most of them are international. Like there's several Americans, of course, but there's also a couple Canadians. There is there's a Bulgarian. There's mostly American, Canadian, Bulgarian. Those are just the ones I can name off the top of my head. And there's a bunch of other professors too that I haven't even had classes with, but those are just the ones that I have. Hence the hard exams, right? Oh yeah, there's an Argentinian too. I forgot about him. So yeah, pretty mixed cast as far as professors go. Yeah, hence the hard exams, right? But it was funny. Like the Bulgarian was a history teacher, and I wanted to take world history because, as an American, had I had my morning coffee already? Yeah, but I also had like no sleep last night. So, you get to that point where coffee can't save you, no matter how much you drink. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm basically just trying to stay alive as much as I can and survive this final. I'm just going to take a nap, then wake up and just drink till I can't feel feelings anymore. So that's my POD for today. Basically what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, with the world history class, I should switch to Red Bull. Fun fact, when I was stationed on Kurtz, USS Kurtz, I used to drink sugar-free Red Bulls to stay awake on watch because boat coffee is gross. And I did the sugar-free because I was also on like a weight loss sort of program over there. Like my goal was to not get taped, and I was like really close for that. But yeah, like I think at this age, like I'm done with energy drinks. I have to switch to coffee. Once you get to 30, you can't drink energy drinks anymore. Those are the rules. You have to switch to coffee and start a podcast. Listen, you guys can complain all about it all you want, but I don't make the rules. I just follow them, all right? So anyway, welcome to my podcast, the Andy San Podcast, live and in living color here in Kawasaki, Kanagawa. I just drank a lovely floral Arabic brand of canned coffee from Georgia Coffee, created by Coca-Cola. Yeah, exactly. I'm a businessman doing business. How you doing? Yeah, exactly. Adrenaline will kick in. So I'm just, they're the old adrenal glands are on a cool down period right now. So I'm a little all over the place. So Red Bull having up sleep is the most important. Yes, definitely. I totally agree with you, Runway. And I was doing pretty good with my sleep schedule for a while, but like once I got closer and closer to finals, that's when anxiety was peaking, and it really affected my sleep schedule. So I'm just hoping to get through this, and then once all the finals are done, everything's in the books, I can just relax. Because it's always the build up to the thing that's the stressful part. Actually doing the thing, it's kind of stressful at first, but once you actually get into it, it's usually not so bad. But it's just a build up to it because like you don't know what's going to be on it. Even if you study for it, you're like, oh man, is he going to throw like a curveball, or am I going to remember all this stuff? Am I going to log in on time? You know, is my computer going to burst into flames? Like, what's going to happen? Yeah, exactly. You go on autopilot, and it's just business as usual. And then once you're done, you're like, did I really fucking panic for all that shit? Like, fucking really? Ugh. The brain is a mystery. Let me tell y'all. You know, there's only so much we know about the human brain. It's fascinating, actually. But yeah, once the adrenal glands get another cool down period, I'll be able to sleep well. So, yeah. I even got melatonin too because I was having some sleep problems. But like being in the military really fucks with your sleep schedule. Like it's good because I'm able to fall asleep very quickly, but it's bad because oh yeah, insomnia fucking sucks. So bad. But yeah, being in the military, I'm able to like sleep at the drop of a hat and also wake up at the drop of a hat. You know, like, you know, last night, for instance, you know, I figured I'd go to bed. It usually does things for me, you know, helps kind of calm me down. But like, if my anxiety is like peaking, like it has been, like I'll be able to fall asleep for a little bit, but then get up and just be completely wide awake, which is what happened to me this morning. So went to sleep at the fairly reasonable hour of 11 p.m. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I went to bed, super reasonable hour, 11 p.m. Figured I'd wake up around 6 or 7 and get on with the day. But woke up to go pee, and I made the mistake of just doing a little email check, little notifications check, just to make sure I didn't miss anything because, you know, all this shit's happening in America and all that stuff. So I just want to just do a little light check, make sure I didn't miss any notifications or whatever. And kind of got into that rabbit hole. And I guess it was enough to make my body realize, oh shit, we're awake now. Wake up. Even though it was like 4:30 in the morning. So, you know, I tried going back to sleep, tried doing like the controlled breathing, which is good for anxiety. You know, just a lot of like breathing that good as prana. That's where I get it from, is from the anxiety breathing control exercises that I do to kind of really calm me down from when the old agita is redlining. After that, it's just not blaming yourself for not being sleepy. Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of where I was. Like I was, you know, just doing breathing, trying to not focus on thinking of anything, just focus on the breathing. And hopefully I figured like my mind would eventually kind of wander to sleepy town. I'd just be like, okay, cool. And just go from there. Yeah, breathing exercises changed my life. For real. Like real talk. You know. But you can't just breathe in 10 times and be like, all right, anxiety's done. Anxiety's over, party. Hashtag anxiety's over. You know, it's something you have to do for several minutes, and you know, it's definitely a mental game. It's designed to take your mind off of processing all these potential threats and just focus on one thing, and then all this other background shit will eventually kind of process out. Where are we at here? Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too. Car wash was, you know, I tried getting back to sleep, and after a while, trying to fight it, it's just like, fuck it, you know, I'll just get up. And I figure, you know, get up, start my day like normal, and once finals done, I can just take a nap because I fucking earned it. I don't care what anybody says. Have I tried cutting out caffeine? I've tried cutting out caffeine completely, but I find that it actually does have an effect on my depression. So it's like it's like the shittiest trade-off in the world. Is like, do I want to be awake, energized, and anxious, or slow, sluggish, and depressed? You know, there's no like in between with that. Oof. Speaking of in between, this coffee is about to make a pit stop in Cleveland, the home of Browntown. But yeah, but for real though, I found like the best thing to do instead of just cutting out caffeine completely. Yo, James with another $5 holla. Oh my gosh, you are my hero. My God, I could use some yakitori. They're not open right now. They're usually open like, you know, early evening, late night. Yeah, that's another reason I drink coffee. Is if I can't, because with Japan there's not a whole lot of fibrous foods, so you have to get that elsewhere. You know, so you got to do a little system cleaning, as it were. Yeah, yakitori. There's an awesome, well, I don't know about awesome, but like there's a lovely. Okay, yeah, appreciate it, James. Thanks so much. Definitely come on here more often. Bawashawa. I get the biggest tonkatsu at Tonkyu. Ooh, oh my God, C-Dub. Even though it's like the complete cheapo Walmart of tonkatsu, I do miss Matsuya, the tonkatsu chain, because that was the main place I went to back when I was living at the guest house in Nakano Shimbashi. There was a little Matsuya place, and it was just so fucking easy, man. They had the little ordering kiosk, so you didn't have to fucking talk to anybody. You just fucking go there, fucking put in your shit, put in your money, boop the card, whatever, grab receipts, sit the fuck down. And the the owner of that establishment, that one in particular, the Nakano Shimbashi one in particular, like they really knew their shit for sure. And it was just like, even though it was like the cheap Walmart version of tonkatsu, it was always very well put together. Had zero complaints about that place, about anything I ate there. I had tonkatsu, karage, tonkatsu curry rice, even the freaking miso soup, which I'm sure is just a fucking little cube and some shit they put in there. I don't know, like, a lot of people say, what's your favorite Japanese food? Is it sushi? Is it ramen? And don't get me wrong, those are pretty good, although I'm more of a ramen tonkatsu kind of guy. It's ironic that I moved to a country whose primary food is ocean-based, and I love the land-based stuff more, but it is what it is. But I would say my favorite Japanese food, if I actually absolutely had to pick one, probably be miso soup. Just a regular old bowl of miso soup. It's not very filling, obviously. It's just a fucking little starter dish, just something to kind of keep you lubricated as you're om-nomming on some tonkatsu or whatevs. But to me, I always equate it to like, it's basically the chicken noodle soup of Japan. It's just a fucking warm hug to your insides. You fucking take a little sip of that miso soup, even if it's fucking store-bought, just a little cube and some shit thrown in there, stir it up. There you go, miso soup. Fucking, even just that shit, it's literally like, the best way I can describe it is just a fucking warm hug on the inside. You could be having like the shittiest of shit days, fucking everything go wrong. Take a little sip of that miso soup and just fucking, it's like doing 20 minutes of breathing exercises. Just fucking, all the stress just fucking drops. That could just be a me thing, I don't know. But miso soup, me so hungry. So good. Matsuya is a cost. Yeah, it's great food at a great price. Not sponsored. I should be sponsored because it's fucking awesome. Kimchi, karuidon. Ooh, that's a good one too. Shit, I'll have to have that next time. I didn't really venture into the don territory. Usually I just eat it there. So usually get like tonkatsu or tonkatsu curry rice or karage or whatever, stuff like that. Tofu blocks and see. So yep. Yeah, I'll definitely get it next time. I'm long due for a trip to Matsuya. I guess they're mostly like a Tokyo chain because they don't have them out here in Kawasaki. Like the closest one I have to like get into Tokyo to get to, which is kind of shit because like when I was living out in Nakano, they were fucking everywhere, and now that I'm out here, it's just. And also, I live in kind of a suburbish area of Kawasaki too, just on the fringe end. Really? Yeah. Maybe I just rolled poorly when it came to where I live out here. But it's whatever. I have places I can go to, but yeah, kind of the advantages and disadvantages of living out here. Advantages: get a nice big space, not a whole lot of money, don't have to deal with a whole lot of people walking around, very sparsely packed area. You know, I'm able to get to the train in like 5 minutes. Oh yeah, Salaryman, yeah. Yeah, the even though the one in Nakano Shimbashi was like really close to the train station, that one wasn't really that packed most of the time. Maybe it's just because I, picked times where salarymen weren't all fucking chilling. And Florida Farmer's pretty chill. That's cool. Yeah, that was kind of more my speed with the one in Nakano Shimbashi. Although it did have like busy hours, so you had to, be careful with that. And same with that one too. It was pretty spacious for a Tokyo restaurant, of course. Like obviously, but for what it was, definitely pretty spacious. Man, I know it's like 8 o'clock and they're far from opening, but you got me jonesing for some Matsuya now, car wash. Goddamn. Give me some tonkats. Good, please. Oh gosh, please. So, yeah, I know, right? I just ate too. Like I had my usual tuna sando and that chicken sando from 7-Eleven. Oh, wait, are they? Oh shit, you're right. They are 24 hours. Fuck, I forgot. That's how long it's been, C-Dub. Tend to forget about these things. Shit, you're right. Well, if I didn't have my final coming up here soon, I'd just fucking hop on a train and go right now. But hey, boys, got to put in that work. So it is what it is. But whew, that being said, guys, I think I'm going to head out. All that coffee and stuff is on a one-way track to Browntown. So boys got to make a pit stop. So just want to thank you all for tuning in to this live stream, even if it is backlit and looking terrible, whatever. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and also got to thank you guys for getting me to 1,800 subscribers. I was totally surprised. Hell yeah, man, will do. I was totally surprised at the recent 1,800 sub bump. So I want to thank you guys for all that. And with all that said, guys, bye, Runway. Appreciate it. Bye, CW. So with that said, guys, this is the Andy-san. Sign for now. And as always, forever, we'll see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.